The Endless Circus of Chaos, December 01, 2025. Oh, darling, pull up a chair and let's spill the tea on this never-ending spectacle that's got me so fed up I could scream from the rooftops. Because honestly, the way the orange tyrant is running amok like some untouchable kingpin, while the rest of us suffer through his disastrous decisions, is beyond ridiculous. And I'm not holding back on calling it out for the farce it truly is. Especially when he goes around blasting boats overseas, as if international waters are his personal playground for showing off military might, without a shred of regard for the fallout that inevitably hits innocent people caught in the crossfire. I mean, can you imagine the audacity of a leader who claims to protect his own citizens, but turns around and starves them by slashing programs that are lifelines for the vulnerable, like gutting aid for the elderly and disabled who rely on those meager incomes to survive? All while he sits in his gilded tower, pretending it's for the greater good or some twisted version of fiscal responsibility that only benefits his cronies and leaves everyone else scraping by on crumbs. Haha, it's almost comical if it weren't so infuriating, watching him demolish these essential supports that generations have fought for, acting like he's some budget wizard when in reality, he's just widening the gap between the haves and the have-nots. And don't even get me started on how he mocks us all by lying straight to our faces about the economy being a paradise under his watch. Insisting prices are at their lowest ever, as if we don't step foot in grocery stores or gas stations every single day and feel the sting of those inflated costs that have only climbed higher since he took the reins again. And speaking of those skyrocketing prices, oh boy, it's like he's living in a parallel universe where facts don't matter and he can just spew whatever nonsense suits his narrative. Telling us with a straight face that everything's cheaper now when anyone with eyes and a wallet knows that's a bald-faced lie, because milk, bread, rent, utilities, you name it, they're all up there draining our bank accounts faster than ever. And yet he has the nerve to parade around like he's the savior who's fixed it all, making me want to yell, "Wake up and smell the coffee." Because we're the ones paying the bill for his failed policies that prioritize tax breaks for the ultra-rich over actual relief for working families who are barely keeping their heads above water. It's this blatant disregard for reality that drives me nuts, this careless attitude where he abuses power without a second thought, committing what any sane person would call high crimes, from inciting division to mishandling national security in ways that put us all at risk. And if that were you or me pulling even a fraction of that, we'd be hauled off to jail faster than you can say double standards. But no, because it's him, the rules apparently don't apply, and the system bends over backward to shield him from any real consequences, letting him rampage on with more abuses of authority that erode the very foundations of our democracy. I tell you, it's exhausting being part of this circus where the ringmaster gets away with everything, starving civilians he's sworn to protect by diverting funds away from social safety nets that keep people from falling into poverty. All while he blasts away at foreign targets that only escalate tensions and drag us into needless conflicts that cost lives and billions, and then has the gall to claim victory as if bloodshed is just another photo op for his ego. Haha, picture this, the elderly folks who worked their whole lives now scraping by on reduced benefits because he decided their income was expendable, the disabled left without the support they need to live with dignity. And all the while prices soar because his tariffs and trade wars backfired spectacularly, hitting our pockets hardest. Yet he stands there lying through his teeth that inflation is tamed and everything's peaky. As if we can't compare our receipts from last year to this one and see the glaring truth staring back at us. It's this fearless arrogance that lets him mock the very people he should be serving, treating us like fools who'll swallow his distortions without question. And the worst part is, no one in power seems willing to do a darn thing about it. No impeachments, no real investigations that stick. Just endless hearings that go nowhere while he continues to wield power like a blunt instrument, smashing through norms and laws with impunity. Oh, the intensity of my frustration boils over when I think about how he's kept prices high through sheer incompetence or deliberate neglect, refusing to address corporate greed or supply chain issues that he exacerbated, and instead opts for more bluster overseas. Sending boats and missiles flying in displays that do nothing but starve resources from home, where real Americans are hurting, from the inner cities to rural towns where the elderly and disabled feel the cuts most acutely, their incomes demolished in the name of some vague America First slogan that rings hollow when it's clear who's really coming first in his world. And let's not kid ourselves. This pattern of high crimes without consequences is no accident. It's a feature of a system rigged for the elite, where he can lie about economic miracles while we pay more for everything, mock our intelligence by denying the obvious, and abuse power to shield himself and his inner circle from accountability that would land anyone else behind bars in a heartbeat. Yelling from the depths of my soul, how much longer do we tolerate this careless tyrant who roasts the vulnerable with his policies, insults our collective smarts with his fabrications, and boldly marches on as if invincible? All while the circus tent grows shakier by the day under the weight of his chaos. But here's the roast of it all in my honest, straight-shooting way. The orange tyrant embodies everything wrong with unchecked power, blasting away at global stability, starving his own people through neglect, demolishing livelihoods for the most needy, jacking up prices while gaslighting us that they're low, and committing offenses that scream for justice yet face none, because the enablers around him are too spineless or complicit to act, leaving us in this tiresome loop where abuse begets more abuse, and the lies pile up like unpaid bills. It's a mockery of leadership, an insult to every hardworking soul out there shopping and struggling, and a bold affront to the idea that no one is above the law. Yet here we are, watching him skate by again and again, fearless in his deception because consequences are for the little people. Not for him. Ha, if only we could bottle that immunity and sell it, we'd all be rich, but instead, we're left with higher costs, diminished protections, and a leader who cares more about his image than the civilians he's starving or the futures he's demolishing. All wrapped in a package of lies that mock our reality. I could go on forever about this infuriating spectacle, but the point is crystal clear. This circus has worn me thin with its endless acts of destruction and denial, where the orange tyrant blasts, starves, demolishes, inflates, lies, mocks, insults, abuses, and evades like it's his birthright. And until someone finally steps up to end the show, we'll keep paying the price in every sense of the word. MAGA, please note, I was not talking to you and I do not need permission to speak up. And God, do I fearlessly speak my mind. I just want to thank you all. Like, share, comment, and follow to stay connected. I am Santiago del Carmen Maria, the Queen of Crowning Thoughts, because I say it like it is. Copyright 2025, independent writer, Crowning Thoughts truth speaker, AI video content creator, writer, blogger, Santiago DC Maria. All rights reserved.